Imagine standing in your kitchen at 7 a.m. The Florida sun is just starting to warm up the driveway, or perhaps you're looking out at a chilly morning in Ohio. You're laced up in your New Balance sneakers, ready for your daily walk around the neighborhood or that 9 a.m. pickleball game at the rec center. But before you grab your keys, you stop. You look at the counter. There's a banana there. Maybe a slice of whole wheat toast, a cup of instant oatmeal, or a small glass of orange juice. A lifetime of advice from television commercials, well-meaning doctors, and decades of government health pyramids screams at you, eat something. You need your strength. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You don't want to get dizzy. So, you eat the toast. You drink the juice. You leave the house feeling safe. But what if I told you that the safety net is actually a trap? What if that innocent pre-walk snack is the very thing preventing your body from accessing the survival mechanisms it desperately needs as you age? Here is the uncomfortable truth that most seniors in the United States never stop to examine: the meal you eat right before your morning exercise is not fueling that exercise. Not in the way you think it is. By eating before you move, you might be shutting down the exact biological processes that protect you from the three biggest threats to aging: muscle loss, metabolic disease, and cognitive decline. It's time to rethink the fuel myth. If you want to do more than just walk, if you want to survive and thrive past 60, you need to understand what happens when you leave that banana on the counter and step out the door on an empty stomach. The great American energy myth. Most people confuse feeling alert with being fueled. When you eat a bagel with cream cheese or a bowl of Quaker oats before walking, your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin. You get a temporary dopamine hit. You feel ready. But that sensation is hormonal, not functional. The energy you are using to walk down Main Street or pedal that stationary bike was stored in your body yesterday, or even last week. Let's look at the biology of digestion. When you eat that healthy breakfast at 7:30 a.m., it sits in your stomach for 2 to 4 hours. It takes even longer to be fully broken down in the small intestine. That means if you are walking at 8 a.m., that toast is not energy. It is dead weight. Your body is now diverting blood flow away from your muscles to your stomach to manage digestion. So, if the food isn't powering you, what is? The two fuel tanks: understanding your reserves. To understand why walking fasted, on an empty stomach, is the superior survival strategy for seniors, you have to understand the two fuel tanks your body possesses. Tank 1, glycogen, the checking account. Glycogen is sugar, glucose, stored in your liver and muscles. It is fast, easy cash. The average American adult stores about 400 to 500 grams of glycogen. That is roughly 1,600 to 2,000 calories of pure energy. Even if you haven't eaten since dinner last night, let's say, a pot roast at 6 p.m., your glycogen tank is still half full the next morning. You have enough stored sugar to walk from Brooklyn to Queens without a snack. Tank 2, body fat, the savings account. This is where the numbers get staggering. Even a lean senior, someone who looks frail, carries tens of thousands of calories in stored body fat. A senior weighing 170 pounds with average body fat has over 80,000 calories of potential energy sitting in reserve. This isn't just extra weight, it is a massive, evolutionary survival battery. Here is the problem: your body is lazy. It will always choose the checking account, glycogen, because it's easy to access. As long as you keep putting food in your mouth: that morning biscotti, the protein shake, the banana, your body burns the sugar from that food and leaves your fat stores completely untouched. For a senior, this is dangerous. When you constantly feed the body, your metabolism loses its flexibility. It forgets how to burn fat. This leads to insulin resistance, weight gain around the midsection, visceral fat, and energy crashes. But when you walk fasted, you force the body to switch tanks. The survival switch. Why fasted walking changes everything. When you haven't eaten for 12 to 14 hours, overnight, your insulin levels drop to baseline. This is the green light for your metabolism. With low insulin and no fresh sugar in the bloodstream, your body adapts. It begins to unlock fat cells. It releases fatty acids into the bloodstream. Your liver converts some of this fat into ketones, a high-efficiency fuel that your brain and muscles love. This isn't starvation. This is metabolic flexibility. And for someone over 60, this switch unlocks 3 critical benefits that walking after breakfast simply cannot provide. 1. The fountain of youth hormone, HGH. One of the biggest fears of aging is sarcopenia, the involuntary loss of skeletal muscle mass. We see it all the time, the shuffling gait, the weakness, the frailty that leads to falls. We are told to eat protein to fix this. But there is another piece to the puzzle. When you exercise in a fasted state, your body produces a surge of human growth hormone, HGH. HGH is often called the fitness hormone. It protects muscle tissue from breakdown and tells the body to burn fat instead. Fasting alone increases HGH. Exercise alone increases HGH. Combining them amplifies the effect. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that fasting-induced HGH spikes can help preserve lean muscle mass even without a calorie surplus. By walking fasted, you are signaling to your body, we are moving, we need energy, but do not eat the muscle. Burn the fat. If you eat that bowl of cereal first, insulin rises. Insulin blunts HGH. You lose that hormonal protection. 2. Fighting the sugar trap, insulin sensitivity. According to the CDC, nearly 50% of Americans over 65 have prediabetes. We spend our golden years fighting blood sugar. Insulin acts as a lock on your fat cells. When insulin is high, after eating, the door is locked. You cannot burn fat. When insulin is low, fasting, the lock opens. When you walk fasted, your muscles become hungry sponges. They learn to pull glucose out of your bloodstream efficiently, without needing a massive flood of insulin. This improves your insulin sensitivity. Think of this as cleaning out the carburetor of a classic car. You are teaching your engine to run cleaner. Over time, this daily habit can be more powerful than medication for managing metabolic health. 3. Protecting the brain, Alzheimer's and dementia. This is perhaps the most profound reason to change your morning routine. We are terrified of losing our memories. When you walk fasted, and your body starts producing ketones, your brain wakes up. Ketones can cross the blood-brain barrier and provide a cleaner energy source than glucose. Furthermore, fasted exercise boosts a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Neuroscientists call BDNF miracle GRO for the brain. It supports the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth of new ones and synapses. Evolutionarily, this makes sense. If our ancestors were hungry, they couldn't afford to be brain-fogged. They needed to be sharp to find food. Your body still remembers this. That sharpness you feel on a fasted walk isn't anxiety, it's your brain turning on its high-performance mode. But is it safe for seniors? I can hear the hesitation. I'm 72 years old. I live in Phoenix. If I don't eat, I'll pass out. Let's clear up the difference between low blood sugar, hypoglycemia, and simply having an empty stomach. For a metabolically healthy person, or even someone with controlled type 2 diabetes, not on insulin, the body is excellent at maintaining blood sugar. Your liver can produce glucose, gluconeogenesis, if it needs to. However, the transition must be managed intelligently. You are not training for the Olympics, you are training for longevity. The Do This Better protocol for seniors. 1. Hydration is non-negotiable, you must drink water. When you wake up, have 12 to 16 ounces of water. Add a pinch of sea salt or electrolytes if you like. You can have black coffee, a staple of the American morning, or plain tea. The caffeine actually helps mobilize fat. But no sugar, no cream, no stevia. Too low intensity is key, we are talking about zone 2 cardio. This means a brisk walk, a light jog, swimming, or cycling. You should be able to hold a conversation. If you are gasping for air, you are pushing too hard for a fasted state that requires glycogen. If you are strolling and looking at the birds, you aren't creating enough demand. Find that sweet spot, breathing harder than normal, but not breathless. 3. Listen to the warning signs. There is a difference between discomfort and danger. Safe, a growling stomach, a slight feeling of lightness, wanting breakfast. Unsafe, cold sweats, shaking hands, confusion, tunnel vision, heart palpitations. The rule: if you feel unsafe, sit down and eat. Glucose tabs or a piece of fruit should be in your pocket just in case, especially when you are starting out. For the post-walk nutrition, this is where the magic happens. After your 30 or 45-minute fasted walk, go home. Now eat. Your muscles are primed to absorb nutrients. Have your eggs, your yogurt, your protein. Your body will send that nutrition straight to muscle repair, not to fat storage. Who should not do this? We must be responsible. This strategy is powerful, but context matters, especially in the US healthcare landscape where medication lists can be long. Type 1 diabetics, you are on exogenous insulin. Fasted exercise complicates your dosing. Do not do this without an endocrinologist's strict plan. Medication requirements: if you take medication that says must be taken with food at 8 a.m., follow your doctor's orders. Low blood pressure / history of fainting: if you have orthostatic hypotension, you get dizzy standing up, be very careful. Underweight seniors: if you are already frail and fighting to keep weight on, you do not need to burn extra fat. You need calories. Reclaiming your ancient biology. For 99% of human history, food was not guaranteed. Our grandparents and their grandparents didn't have 24-hour diners or Uber Eats. They woke up, they worked the farm, they tended the animals, or they walked to the factory. They moved before they ate. If the human body became weak or fragile the moment it missed a meal, the human race would have gone extinct thousands of years ago. We are designed to move hungry. We are designed to be hunters and gatherers, not grazers. By constantly eating before every activity, we have silenced this ancient, protective programming. Seniors, the goal isn't to suffer. The goal is to signal to your body that you are still alive, still active, and still require your muscles and your brain. So, tomorrow morning, try it. Leave the banana on the counter. Drink your water. Tie your shoes. Walk out the door. You might feel a little resistance at first. But about 20 minutes in, you might notice something else. A clarity. A lightness. A sense that your body is finally doing what it was built to do. You aren't just walking. You are turning back the clock. What do you think? Is breakfast a non-negotiable for you, or are you willing to test your body's true potential? Let me know in the comments below.